Arsene, good day. I want to ask you first of all, what was the inspiration for working with India on this talent development project?
Well, I would say that football is the most popular sport in the world, and it looks to be logical that the biggest country in the world has access to football development, and I would say that India is a sporty country, and I'm hopeful that we can bring great joy to children in India and have big fun by playing football.
And how confident are you that this project will succeed in India?
I'm confident because I just believe that success is linked with education, and we want to give the opportunity to educate young people towards football in India.
And Arsene, you have some very strong views and some great ideas about developing academies, and I know you've already had discussions with the AIFF about this. So could you give us a bit more information about how you see the academies developing in India?
Well, it's based on two things. The MA has to take charge of the education with us, and we need to good cooperation together. And overall, it's based on two things: identify the talent, play with the best with the best, and then the quality of educational program and of the coaching will be absolutely vital. We will need a big work together with the MAs to identify the talent first, and as well after to regroup the best with the best, and then under that develop the grassroots game for the whole country. But the starting point is identify the talent and put the best with the best together.
And in terms of identifying the talent, you already mentioned that India is now the largest or most populated nation on the planet. So we assume they have a huge talent pool in India already. But how is that an advantage for them, or do you see some challenges there?
Well, I would say the number is an advantage, but the organization is a disadvantage. You imagine such a huge country for 1.4 billion people to identify the talent is not easy. But you would say it's a gold mine. And the gold mine that at the moment we have not analyzed well and not identified well. That's why we need, of course, people inside the country who know where the talent is. And but the number is an advantage, but the organization is a difficulty. That's why the cooperation between FIFA and VMA will be absolutely vital. There is a strong desire in our conversation. VMA is highly focused and motivated to help us to do that, and I think together we'll do a great job.
And you've already held meetings with the president and with the general secretary and with other senior members of staff within the AIFF. How have you found them? Are they up for this?
Well, we met in Australia at the Women's World Cup, and I must say I was impressed by their motivation and impressed by the capacity for them to organize what we want to do. So overall, I came out of this meeting very optimistic about our future cooperation. And you know, Jed, because you follow that closely, that we will start this work very soon.
Well, I have to ask you this question, Arsene. When will you be coming to visit in India? Because I know there's a lot of enthusiasm to see you.
Well, I'm happy to visit India, but that will not make the success of our project, you know. But I'm happy to go and to see how the whole work is taking place with you. And I planned in October, end of October, somewhere around that.
And as this project evolves and develops, what do you think the impact of India can have on the international game? What can they contribute to football globally?
Well, I would say that success is linked with the quality of the education, and I don't see why India would not be on the world map with a number of players, and it's a sporty country. At the moment, cricket is a sport number one. I have nothing against cricket because I was a long time in England. I know how important cricket is as well in England. But there's room for other sports. And not all the kids can only play cricket. We want as well to give them the opportunity. Football is a fantastic sport, but there's no discrimination through weight or size. If you good technique, you play. And we want to give them this opportunity.
And Arsene, when you went to Japan a number of years ago now, you were in the vanguard. You were at the start of a process of changing a football culture in Japan, and we see how successful they've now become. How do you see that developing in India?
Well, there are similarities with Japan because I arrived in 95 in Japan. They started the professional league in 93, but they understood very early that you have to create academies and education for young players. And because they did that program very well, look, there boys and girls, Japan is at the top world ranking. It's a good example to follow. And they just understood very quickly that the education was the key.
Arsene, you've been successful at the very highest levels of the game as a technical coach, and now you have this new role. Are you enjoying it? How is it different? What is it that inspires you? You're clearly very passionate about this project.
Well, I was a long time in the result business, how you can call that, and of course the intensity of this life was fantastic and very, very demanding. But I'm here on a more longer term project, and I would say the legacy that I could leave in football with what I've learned, with how we can guide people, will be maybe more long-term satisfaction, but as well a deeper satisfaction. That's why this is I'm in a part of my life where what I can help people and the legacy I can leave in football is absolutely fantastic. And I'm grateful that FIFA gave me this opportunity. And together, I'm sure we'll can leave a great legacy, and we can change football in the world, and even change the world by helping everybody to develop. And that's absolutely a fantastic project.
And just one final one to bring it back to India. They've just landed on the moon. They have unbelievable leaders, some of the great CEOs and the great brains. They're incredibly innovative in the area of IT and computers. So how do they move all of that success into the domain of football? How do they develop the next Arsene Wenger, the next Lionel?
Well, I would say that shows just what you tell me, that Indian people are dedicated and very intelligent, and they are ready to invest in education, because there as well it's just down to education. And there are many Indian people who are doing very well when I was in England, because they are very dedicated and invest a lot of time in education. The difference is in football, you have to educate your feet as well. And in fact, football is to do with your feet what your brain wants. So we have, of course, they have the brain, but we want as well to educate the feet. And then they will have great players.
Arsene, thank you very much.
Thank you.